You know what finally breaks a man? It's not the yelling, not even the betrayal, believe it or not. It's that look, a single, crushing expression a woman gives when you try to reach for her, try to be close, and she recoils like you're some obligation she's too tired to deal with. That look, that face, that silent dismissal like you're just noise in the background of her life. I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was the perfect husband. I've got flaws like anyone, but I work damn hard. I'm a warehouse supervisor over at the Amazon Fulfillment Center off I-35 near Live Oak. You might know the one. I clock in at 4:30 a.m. sharp. No excuses. 10 hours a day. I'm on my feet hauling pallets, running inventory, managing a crew that can barely keep it together half the time. Trucks scream in and out like it's a war zone. My walkie never shuts up. My phone buzzes every 20 minutes. People quit mid-shift like it's nothing. New hires look at me with panic and confusion in their eyes. And I stay calm. I guide. I push through. Because that's what a man does. He provides. I never asked for applause. I came home with sweat on my collar and pain crawling up my spine, and still took the trash out. Fixed the leaky sink. Grilled on the weekends. Washed her car. Rubbed her feet when she complained her arches ached. Brianna, my wife, she worked. 2, front desk at a dental clinic off Fredericksburg Road. Answered phones. Filed insurance forms. Not too heavy. Done by for most days. I'd drag myself home by 6:30, sometimes closer to 7. Dead tired but always glad to see her. At least. I used to be. C. The change didn't happen overnight. It wasn't some big explosion. That's the lie people tell you, like betrayal shows up with fireworks. But real betrayal, it leaks. Slowly, a quiet drip through the ceiling until one day, you look around and everything you built is soaked, rotted, and ruined. She started slipping away about a year in. Little things at first, less affection, less warmth, always on her phone. She'd scroll for hours, giggling at nothing, nose buried in her screen while I sat beside her, invisible. I wasn't asking for a honeymoon night every damn day. I just wanted to feel close to the woman I married. I reached for her softly, just wanting that silent connection, and she'd pull away. Whisper, "I'm tired," or worse, sigh like my touch was a burden she had to endure. That sigh, the one where she sucked all the air out of the room. Just because I wanted to rest my hand on her hip, the tight lips, the closed eyes, the jaw that locked up like I was revolting to her. You don't recover from a look like that. It burns into you. She'd sit at the edge of the bed, lotioning her legs, wearing those oversized t-shirts that smelled like Downy. I'd watch her, remembering how she used to smile at me, used to jump on my back when I came home, arms wrapped around my neck, laughing. Now she wouldn't even flinch when I entered the room. She just acted annoyed that I existed. I told myself, maybe she was stressed, maybe something was going on. So I doubled down, took on more chores, picked up takeout so she wouldn't have to cook, bought her flowers out of nowhere, planned little weekend drives, coffee runs to our favorite spot, just us and some quiet miles to reconnect. But she wasn't interested. One night, I brought home her favorite order from Whataburger: extra spicy ketchup, large Dr. Pepper. She barely touched it, said she already ate, didn't even say thanks. Just slipped her earbuds in and curled up with her iPad to binge Netflix like I wasn't even there. Later that night, I climbed into bed, still hoping to feel close again. I ran my hand across her stomach the way I used to, gentle, familiar. She froze, pulled the blanket up like I was some stranger invading her space. Made that same damn face again, this time with an annoyed groan. Not tonight, Mason. Seriously, you always want something. That was the moment I stopped being her husband. I became her housemate, her errand boy, the guy who kept the fridge full and the floors swept. We hadn't been intimate in maybe 2 months. Could have been 3. And when I finally worked up the nerve to ask if something was wrong, she snapped. "Why are you always so needy? I go to work before dawn. I carry the weight of our life on my shoulders. I come home aching and still find ways to show her I care. And just asking for some affection makes me needy. It wasn't about sex. Let me make that crystal clear. I wasn't keeping score like some hormone-driven teenager. I just wanted to feel wanted. I wanted her to see me not as a paycheck or a plumber or a roommate, but as a man. But the way she'd look at me, I stopped feeling like a husband, started feeling like a burden. She dressed up more for brunch with her friends than she ever did for me. I'd come home to messy buns and stained leggings, but Saturday mornings, she'd be out the door in lashes, heels, perfect lipstick, smelling like temptation. Not for me, never for me. And that phone, God, that phone was her true companion, constantly buzzing with Snapchats, texts, stories. When I asked her anything, I'd get half answers, distracted nods, eyes that never left the screen. I tried to ignore it, told myself I was imagining things, until that Thursday. I stayed late for inventory count, got home exhausted, feet raw, spine tight, walked in, hoping for even a glance, just one. But there she was on the couch with takeout I didn't recognize, scrolling like a zombie. I sat beside her, reached to wrap an arm around her shoulder, nothing wild. Just that small sign that said asterisk, I'm still here, and I want us, asterisk. She jerked away, rolled her eyes, made that damn face again. Don't start, Mason. I'm not in the mood. I walked into the bathroom, flipped the light on, looked in the mirror, and for a second, I didn't even recognize the man staring back. Dark circles, hollow eyes. A tired stranger begging for love in the same home he built with his hands. And right then, something in me shut off. Not with anger, not rage, no slammed doors, no shouted fights. Just silence. A quiet, calm switch flipped. If there's no intimacy, there's no marriage. If I'm treated like a chore, then she doesn't get to wear the title of wife. You don't get the benefits of being married while abandoning every responsibility that comes with it. So I stopped begging, and I started planning. I took a personal day, drove over to Loop for 110, a little law office in a strip mall, Travis and Mendoza, right next to a laundromat and a pawn shop. Nothing flashy, but I didn't need a suit and tie. I needed someone who knew men like me. They paired me with Jeff Mendoza. Mid-40s, cowboy boots, strong grip, no nonsense. I told him everything about the cold shoulders, the rejection, the emotional abandonment, the bills I paid while she gave nothing back. He nodded like he'd heard the story 100 times. In Texas, he said, you've got grounds. Emotional abandonment, intimacy refusal. If you're covering everything financially, and she's not fulfilling the basic obligations of a marriage, you can file a fault-based divorce. He told me to keep a record. Dates, words, how long since any touch. Every time she rolled her eyes, walked out of the room mid-sentence. Refused affection, build a pattern. He said, she contests it, she loses. For the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe again, like I had a choice. That night, I came home. She didn't even lift her eyes from her phone. No hello, no dinner, no warmth. I didn't say a word, just showered, made a sandwich, ate at the counter in silence, slept without telling her goodnight. She noticed. Next morning she muttered, you're being weird lately. I said, I'm just watching what happens when I stop trying. That hit her. You could see it. Because women like her, they're used to you chasing, to your forgiveness, to the dance. And when you stop dancing, they panic. I stayed silent. Didn't make her coffee. Didn't tell her to drive safe. Didn't ask who she was texting. Didn't care. I was already gone. Just waiting for the logistics to catch up. She tried to reel me back. Made dinner for the first time in months. Sent a midday, everything okay? Text, I didn't answer. Then she tried sitting close, cracking old inside jokes. But I wasn't playing anymore. I'd taken my dignity back. A week later, she broke. You're being distant. She snapped. You barely talk to me anymore. I looked her in the eyes and said, why should I talk to someone who doesn't want to be married to me? She laughed it off at first, tried to minimize it. But I kept going. No affection, no respect, no effort. Do you even remember the last time you looked at me like I meant something to you? Silence. I didn't yell. I didn't beg. I just told her the truth. No intimacy, no marriage. This isn't a roommate agreement. You want to live like strangers, fine. But not in my home. Not on my dime. I'd already spoken to the landlord. Had the receipts. The lawyer had the paperwork drafted. All I needed was the moment. And it came. Thursday. She came home around 6:45, Starbucks in hand, face casual. I waited till she set her bag down, then handed her a white envelope. She opened it, read it. Blanched. What is this? Your 72-hour notice. You've got 3 days to leave. Her mouth hung open. Wait. Are you serious right now? Dead serious. You're throwing me out over sex, she scoffed. No, I said. I'm throwing you out over months of being treated like I was lucky to exist. Over the way you looked at me like I was a burden for trying to love you. You stopped being my wife a long time ago. I just stopped pretending. She cried not heartbreak tears, but fear, panic, because I wasn't supposed to do this. I was the steady one. She thought I'd never leave. She begged, pleaded, guilt-tripped. I don't have anywhere to go. Not my problem. You're really going to throw me out like trash? No. I'm throwing out the version of me that let someone treat him like trash. She stood frozen, hoping I'd cave. I didn't. I rolled out a suitcase, told her to pack what she needed. Then I left, got gas, grabbed a burger, felt the air fill my lungs for the first time in years. By Sunday, she was gone. Left a note on the counter. I never thought you'd do this. I hope you find what you're looking for. I laughed because I had peace. Quiet mornings. No tension. No more walking into rooms with icy energy. I went back to the gym, cooked what I wanted, spent time with my nephew, watched Spurs games with the guys. 2 weeks later, she texted, "Can we talk, please?" I left it on read. Her sister messaged too. "She's at mom's, not doing great." I replied, "I'm fine. I've never been better." Because I was done begging for affection, done asking for the bare minimum, done explaining why being touched, seen, heard matters. She gave me silence. So I gave her consequences. She thought I'd always be there. But even the strongest men break. And when they do, they don't crumble, they disappear. Now I sleep deep, breathe easier, walk my home with dignity, and I don't wonder what she's doing, because I don't care. She made her face every time I reached for her. Now she can go. Make that same face at her reflection. Me. I'm too busy living to look back.